How's it going, everyone? It is Prashan here, and we have a new season. So we have a new patch. So we know that we have some new cards coming to Marvel Snap, and I'm pretty excited about it. And let's check it out. We have Masters of the Arcane, which is pretty interesting. It looks like we have Merlin here. Merlin's going to be the season pass card. 2-3. We have Doctor Strange, Baron Mordo here. And let's see what we have. Look at this. Spotlights. We have a little graph here. Okay. New cards. So Aranya, does Aranya change? Give the next card you play a +1 after you play your next card. So they just change the text a little bit. That way it's more clear. And then we have Astral Projection. Copy the text of an on reveal card in your hand. That is interesting. I wonder if this is just gonna be a part of another card. Let's see. Is it just a card by itself? I guess so, right? So this is gonna be a card? This is pretty interesting. So like my thoughts are with like Marvel Snap is that I feel like maybe in the future there should be like artifacts. Like we have Captain America's shield, right? But like I don't know, like Hawkeye's bow should be a card or something. Well, that's pretty interesting. Astral projection, is it? I guess it's gonna be its own card. Let me know down below in the comments. And then we have Clea here. Clea is gonna be a 1/1. And after this card permanently gains power, add a Flames of Faltine to your hand. And what is a Flames of Faltine? That is interesting. Like, these are some very interesting cards. A lot of spells. And then we have Dormammu here. Game start. Begin a summoning ritual. That is pretty interesting, too. And do we have the rituals down here? Wow. What the? So this is my thoughts exactly. What the does this mean? Like, I'm pretty excited for all these. They all look pretty cool. It's going to be pretty interesting. A lot of as the game is progressing, there's a lot of crazy plays just based off the cards we have, right? And then we have Elixir here. On reveal, one of your cards destroyed last turn gets revived here, which I think is pretty interesting. So Elixirs is pretty cool. And then here's the Flames of Faltine. On reveal, afflict an enemy card here with -2 power, and then you banish this. So more cards that you just play, and then they're gone. So it saves you board space, which is pretty smart for Marvel Snap going forward because we have so many cards that do so many things. So it's pretty cool to see like cards just vanish after you use them. Like the downside is obviously they're not on the board, they can't gain power, but they do what they need to do. So after this card permanently gains power. But how is the power permanent? Right? Like you could play Shadow King any time. Like how does the power stay permanently? That's one thing I don't get. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We have a few months before all this comes out, and then we have Jennifer Kale. Next turn, you get +1 energy. She's an activate. Pretty interesting. This might save you. This might be clutch. Or it makes you go crazy on curve. The crazy thing is, I haven't seen Wiccan as much as I used to. But I think this is a decent card. And then we have Morgan Le Fay. On reveal, return all your discarded and destroyed cards to hand with +3 power. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. So especially with like Conchu, you could probably do some crazy stuff. And even with Gambit, right? Because Gambit's one of those that you can discard, destroy. You could maybe you could do Black Cat, bring Black Cat back with Morgan Le Fay. Like that's pretty interesting. Very interesting. I don't know. Like I'm pretty interested to see what all these cards do, like in action, because it's hard to talk about them without even playing them. Because it's like, yes, you could theory craft and figure out what's cracked and what's not cracked, but it usually takes a few days for all of us to figure that out, right? And then next year we have Nicholas Scratch. Nicholas Scratch here. So Nicholas Scratch, after you play a skill +1 power, what are freaking skills? What are spells and skills and all the like? That is crazy. Like, what is a skill? Where's the what the does that mean? Comment. Like, there is some crazy things coming, and I'm pretty excited about. This is very interesting. Hopefully, this isn't an April Fool's thing. And then we have Nightmare here. Replace the text of each card in your hand with that of a random card that costs the same amount. This is going to be interesting. Like, I know you guys are probably thought about this, but me thinking on the spot, like I'm thinking Surfer maybe? Like you have a bunch of 3 costs, but you don't want to have Surfer lose its surfness, right? You don't want to have Surfer lose its text. Or even Cerebro. You could do that with Cerebro randomly too. But it's cost, right? Not like power. I don't know. This one, like, it feels like you have to take a pen and paper and like write down how all these decks might work in theory, right? Like this might take a deckologist to get all this like figured out. Like let me down in the comments what you guys are looking forward to. What I don't know. Like all these are pretty intense. And then we have Omniversal Presence. What is this? Replace this location with a new one and give Merlin +2 power. So it seems like Merlin might have different spells, and this is a spell. So forget Scarlet Witch, right? Like Nocturne, you got Nocturne and Omniversal Presence. Like forget Scarlet Witch ever existed. Yeah, it looks like he has different spells, huh? Then we have Once and Future. Shuffle your lowest power card here into your deck to get +2 energy next turn. And then you banish it. Like Marvel Snap is getting to a point where we're having too much too much energy. What happened with Electro? Good old Electro. Like 3 years ago, Electro and Psylocke were like your only means of getting some. And Wave. Wave was pretty cracked back in the day. Wave was really cracked back in the day. And then we have Polymorph. So transform your lowest power card here into one that costs 2 more. So it's like a Cersei. So Polymorph is like a Cersei, which is pretty interesting. And this has to be like a spell too, right? And then we have Tau Mandala. Reveal your characters here. No, your characters here. On reveal, your characters here. Copy the text of one of your ongoing cards here. Okay, that's interesting. And then we have the ancient one. Add Tau Mandala to your hand. So both of these are going to be 3 costs? This is going to be interesting. I'm thinking Surfer too, because, like, you could copy Wong, right? You play Ancient One, you play Wong, you play Tao, and then you pop off. That's insane. Like, these cards are like, I definitely have to sit down, get a pen and paper or something, and try to figure out these decks. So it talks about Merlin, merge your highest power destroyed with Dormammu. What? Dude, like, what the heck is this? Like, what kind of sorcery is this, right? So there's a Dormammu card, a Tau card, and Infinite Tau Mandala for the season. New card backs. We got some new locations. We have Camelot. And we have Astral Plane. Man, let's look at the spotlights. This is in May. This is so we have Surge, Hope Summers, Hulkling. We have Prodigy, Silver Sable, Frigga. We have Elixir, Airsham. So if you don't have Airsham or Malekith, I think those are 2 pretty good cards. Frigga's alright too. But those, I think those 2 are the ones you really want to go after, right? Then there's Zorn, Ajax, Scream. Then we have Morgan Le Fay, Gore, Luna Snow. So Gore is definitely a card to get, right? And that's the MCU. Too bad they butchered him in the movies, though. But this is in June. We're all the way in June. This year's already going by. And then we have the Ancient One. So the Ancient One is a card by herself. So it's going to be what, Merlin and the Ancient One? Or is it going to be Morgan Le Fay? Is that a new season? Look at this with Nightmare, Anti Venom. So Anti Venom is pretty awesome, in my opinion. And we got Clea, Penny Parker, Scarlet Spider. Looks like we have a new album, Cosmic Conquerors. So Dan Hip for all you hipsters out there. Ooh, the winning ticket. Look at this. Can you open that? Is that? I got a golden ticket. That's pretty cool. You get a Dan Hip Hawkeye. So I really don't understand if you have Cosmic Conquerors, and you get a Kate Bishop as your prize, the street level hero almost as your prize, and then we have another Pandart album, Pandora's Box number 3, which is pretty cool. All of these look like new variants for the most part. Yeah, all of these are brand new variants. So that's pretty cool. Looks expensive. But the first prize is a premium mystery variant, which I think is pretty cool. And then we got some collector's tokens too. So this is a new card. But card acquisition is going to change a bit with packs. I need to do a video on packs. I need to do my research. That way I could sound like I know what I'm talking about. And then we have a new Conquest variant, new Ultimate Magic variant here. Super Premium variant for the pass. A bunch of new variants. Holy mother. There's a lot of good stuff in here. Gwenpool is finally getting another variant. Hydra Bob is a fantasy variant. Oh, it's in the bundle. Ooh, we have Howard the Duck here. Whoa, that magic is insane. Then we have Merlin. Did we ever see what Merlin actually does? I don't even think we did. And hopefully you guys made it this far. We're already like 14, 15 minutes deep. So at the start of your turn, add a wizardly incantation to your hand. At the start of each turn. Huh. What are the incantations? So it's the omniversal presence, once and future. Okay, cool. That's pretty cool. Tons of new variants. He's almost like Zemo. He has like an outfit like Zemo almost. If Zemo was human, this is what his costume would be. Gosh, that nightmare. These nightmares are pretty cool. Whoa, is that a venomized red guardian? I have to look at this one. I really do have to look at this one. That is insane. That is insane. Ooh, look at that swarm. That swarm's pretty cool. It's by Pandart. Shadow King. Okay, I see you. Sheesh, that symbiote Spider-Man. Shout out the symbiote Spider. Symbiote Spider-Man has a special place in my heart because I was able to do the video for Marvel Snap. Wow, that hood is pretty good. Ooh, a Vision comic book cover. Let's go. Yondu? A new Yondu? So a bunch of variants with updated dates. And then I think we have some bundles here. Of course, I'll go over the bundles and bundle videos and variants videos, but not that bad. This is all of the patch. Nothing crazy. I don't see any crazy bundles here so far. Still no Galactica variants. Galacta. I keep on saying Galactica. Dan hit valid. Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah, they don't believe it either. All right. Yeah, so that's it for this patch. Like I'm really excited to see what like the future of Snap. I just want to see how these decks go because we have so many cards in the game, and you can have so much parity now, which I think is going to be pretty cool, right? And then Merlin. Who would have thought Merlin was going to be the season pass card? That's weird. I never would have thought. It would have never crossed my mind at all. But yeah, that is it for this video. We've been rambling for almost 20 minutes. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. I can't wait to go over the new variants and bundles and, of course, decks and stuff. So, till next time, be safe, keep on snapping, and peace.
Snap.